you're okay the way you are. That's what we tell young people. Oh, you're okay the way you are. It's like, man, there's nothing worse than you can tell someone who's young than that, especially if they're miserable. And lots of them, well, if they're miserable and aimless, it's like, oh, I'm miserable and aimless, and sometimes I'm suicidal and I'm nihilistic and I don't have any direction in my life. It's like, well, you're okay the way you are. They don't want to hear that. They want to hear, you're useless. You know nothing. You haven't got started. You've got 60 years to put yourself together, and God only knows what you could become.
I used to say, I sure hope things will change. That seemed to be my only hope. If it isn't going to change, I'm in serious trouble. And then I discovered it isn't going to change. The tide comes in, and then what? It goes out. For 6,500 years that we know of, recorded history, and probably long before that. So it is not going to change. It's going to be about like it's always been. It gets light, and then what? It turns dark. 6,500 years. See, it's not likely to change. Mr. Schultz said, Jim, I've only known you a short time. But he said, it's already my honest opinion that for things to change for you, you've got to change. For things to change for you, you've got to change. Otherwise, it isn't going to change. Direction determines destination. You cannot change destination. It means you can't arrive at a 5-year place tomorrow. But here's what you can change today and overnight. Okay?
When we look out on our lives, we ask the question, what are you going to do? Look at, as you think about this that you know you need to handle, what are you going to do? And then write down 3 strong reasons on why you know you must take action. And be explicit and descriptive in your reasons, because your reasons have power. Your reasons will drive you. When you have doubt, when your faith becomes weak, your reasons will fortify your faith. When you have an inner conversation, say, no, don't do that. Your reasons will become your rod and your staff to comfort you, to take you through those challenging moments. So write down your reasons. And what you will find, that when you decide to act, when you decide to take life on, and let me warn you, it can be painful, it will be uncomfortable, and that's where the growth is.
Luck is a word that people usually use to describe things that happen that they don't understand and can't explain. You, like everyone else, have a strong need to make sense of your life and what is going on around you. Psychologists call this a need for a sense of coherence, or an understanding of how things hang together. When this sense of coherence is threatened by things that seem to happen by chance, either positive or negative, we reassert mental order and peace of mind by writing it off to luck of some kind. Once you can say, he or she was just lucky, or I just got a lucky break, it gives you a sense of comfort and security and enables you to stop thinking about how and why a particular thing happened, even though it might have been a remarkable coincidence. Interestingly enough, successful people have a tendency to both feel lucky and to be lucky, and they often attribute their successes to luck. Sometimes successful people say this to avoid the envy attached to high achievement. They claim that they were just lucky so that they appear humble and ordinary in the eyes of others. Unsuccessful people, on the other hand, attribute much of the success of others to their being lucky rather than to their being talented. At the same time, they blame most of their own failures on bad luck, as though the law of cause and effect had somehow been suspended in their cases, thereby making them the unfortunate and undeserving victims of chance. Deep in their hearts, most successful people attribute their achievements to hard work, far beyond the ordinary. They say things like, the harder I work, the luckier I get. They believe that they have earned their success and that they deserve the occasional lucky break that seems to pop up and propel them forward far faster than the ordinary. The fact is, your luck can be managed, and increased by applying certain mental and physical laws that apply to luck in your own life. What you're about to learn about luck and success could change your future.
Wilfred Peterson once skillfully said, "Walk with the dreamers, the believers, the courageous, the cheerful, the planners, the doers, the successful people with their heads in the clouds and their feet on the ground." If you seek self-improvement, you can inspire people around you as well, which will reciprocate in a positive light. Your circle of friends and acquaintances should uplift you rather than bring you down. In a way, the people you hang out with are a reflection of your standards. Stay away from toxic individuals who slack off and do not encourage you to fulfill your goals and push your limits. As they say, if you are the smartest person in the room, then you are in the wrong room. While surrounding yourself with like-minded and gifted people is important, the ones you hang out with should also have a positive outlook. After all, your worth and value will mostly be measured by the 5 people you are closest to. Find inspiration. Seeking inspiration is another way to keep growing, especially when you are facing creative blocks. To a large extent, getting inspired is triggered internally. Even though it waxes and wanes along one's creative process, you can still seek external sources to find inspiration. In reality, we all can use inspiration to remain positive and feed our souls. This not only boosts your creativity, but gives you something to look forward to, particularly during those times of hardship and uncertainty. At times, feeling inspired is the only way to clear the mayhem you are experiencing and moving forward with your life. There are countless ways to find inspiration around you. Reading, exercising, meditating, painting, or a stroll in the park are a couple of ways to recharge your batteries. Inspiration can be both active and passive. Finding active inspiration motivates you to create something with great purpose, whereas passive inspiration enables you to see the skills and talents of other people and draw your motivation from them. At times when you find yourself in the doldrums, you may conclude that you are just not skilled enough for a certain task. In truth, you simply lack inspiration for the creative juices to flow. By engaging with your entourage and surroundings, you can hope to ignite that spark that will unlock all the doors in front of you.